YouTube, what's going on? Today we got a banger video on our hands. I am going to rank my personal top 25 games that I have ever played. And I put a big emphasis on personal because there are tons of game lists out there, tons of different top 25s, top 100, whatever. So if you don't hear a game that you think is the best top 25 of all time, just know I still love you. And it's probably on one of the trillions of game lists out there. The way this is going to work is I have picked out 25 of my favorite games. I've also picked out 5 honorable mentions in no particular order that are just on the outside looking into that top 25 list. So we're going to start with those, and then we're going to start at number 25 all the way to that number 1 spot. We're also going to be playing a game during the list, okay? Okay. Before I reveal a game, I will play either an audio clip or a soundbite from the particular game that is about to be revealed, and I'll give you guys probably about 10 seconds to guess each game. Let me know in the comments how many you get. Alright guys, but I have yapped for long enough. Here's a word from our spot. Just kidding. Top 25 countdown, starting now with the honorable mentions.
Barry?
What is it? What is it?
Watch out! It's a monster!
Let me take care of this.
The first honorable mention for me has to be Resident Evil 1 on the original PlayStation. As a kid, I grew up playing this game and running around for hours in that mansion full of zombies fighting for my life. Never really understanding what I had to do, but it was fun regardless. I used to watch my aunt play when I was little and copy her progress on my own save, so I made some progress, but it wasn't until I got older and bought the remastered version that I was finally able to beat this game. Between the nostalgia, fun puzzles, and killing zombies with big guns, what's not to love? And with the second honorable mention, we have Super Mario 64. I love anything and everything Mario, and this won't be the only Mario game mentioned in this video. Mario 64 was peak when I was a kid. It was a very simple yet charming Mario game, and the graphics blew my mind, considering the Mario I was playing before this was on the Super Nintendo, so it was like a huge change, but I enjoyed the entire journey of this game, and what can I say? It may be an unpopular opinion, but I am a sucker for Nintendo 64 games. With the third honorable mention, we have to go with Age of Empires. As with the last mention, nostalgia plays a huge factor in the ranking of this game. When me and my brother were kids, we used to play LAN on my dad's 2 computers he had. He had one in his office and one in the dining room. And we would just build ginormous armies and attack each other over and over again. To hell with progressing your town hall when you can just put in cheats and drive a monster truck over to your opponent's main town and just flatten everything. It literally one-taps everything. Or, I guess maybe that was just me since I kinda gatekeep the cheat code websites for my little brother. Wait a second. I'm the asshole here, aren't I?
We'll pick you up as soon as you knock out power to that shield. Ready when you are 6. Hurry, Lieutenant. We got a frigate inbound to blow that spire as soon as the shield is powered down.
Coming in at the fourth honorable mention, we have Halo Reach. So many hours spent in this game between multiplayer infected, griffball, and good old TDM, or even just Forge mode with my brother and friends where we would build bases and duke it up. The campaign was so badass, even though it was lacking Master Chief, it was still spectacular in every way. And with the last honorable mention of the day, it's going to be Diablo 3 and 4. I'm a fairly new Diablo player, starting on number 4 and absolutely loving it, so I went and played through number 3 as well. I was instantly hooked because it was unlike any other game that I had played at the time when I tried it, and pulverizing hordes of demons from hell with either Necro or Barbarian builds is enough to make its way into my honorable mentions. And that will do it for our honorable mentions. Without further ado, let's get into my top 25 games list of all time. Sliding in at the number 25 spot is none other than Ghost of Tsushima. What can I say? This game is an absolute masterpiece with a beautiful environment and an even more beautiful story. Although it landed in my 25th spot, don't assume that this is my least favorite of all my favorite games. The rest of the games on my list just have a little more nostalgia, a little more reasoning, maybe I spent longer and got more into them, and that's why they're higher. Considering I've played a lot of games, and I mean a lot of games, to make the 25th spot is not a bad thing whatsoever. Coming in at number 24 is Banjo-Tooie. While I love its predecessor Banjo-Kazooie as well, I'm a part of that 1% that may like its sequel better, and that is simply because I played Banjo-Tooie first, rather than as a sequel. When I was a kid I had Tooie on the N64, but I had never played Kazooie, so I really had no expectations or anything to compare it to. Having played the first game now, I will admit it may be just a hair better, but it could never take away the time and energy I poured into Tooie as a kid. And anyone who's played this game, you gotta be with me when I say, like, fuck that factory level, right? That level is the fucking worst level of any game ever made. And next, number 23 is Pokemon Platinum. While having played almost every mainline Pokemon prior, Platinum was the first Pokemon I played on the DS, and man did I love my DS. It was a game changer. I thought touching the screen to manage the inventory and select your Pokemon's attack was mind-blowing at the time. It also had a great story and introduced tons of great Gen 4 Pokemon and lore. Not to mention, it is the first game I had ever used the Global Trade Station, and the first game I was able to take part in the events for the mythical Pokemon you could get from the mystery gift option. And number 22, another game I feel like a majority of people are not a fan of, but like Banjo-Tooie, I only had a select few games on my N64, and Donkey Kong 64 is one of them. I will say, playing it back just a year ago, it was nothing special, but the pure nostalgia of collecting those bananas and fighting those bosses in their badass levels landed it at the number 22 spot for me. I will say, a lot of it did age like milk. Having to go and find a barrel to switch Kongs was a constant pain in the ass, as well as those disgusting, terrible camera controls. But overall, the memories I still have from this game make up for all of its blatant cons.
CIS units have been detected moving in this direction. Defend the ATTE until Jedi Master Sakuda arrives.
And at number 21, we have Star Wars Battlefront 2, the OG version. I virtually have nothing bad to say about this game. You could dogfight in fighter ships in space and land on the opposing team's giant starfighter just to sabotage it. You had multiple classes of troops, land, air, and sea battles, almost every hero you could think of available in the game without having to buy them as a microtransaction, and the online multiplayer was absolute peak gaming. Tons of hours spent fighting against my brother or deciding to team up and absolutely bullying the AI like it deserved it.
Weaver's right. We're out of time. The Russians fucked you up. I know you. You're not a traitor.
And at number 20 is Black Ops 1. It was really hard to pick a Call of Duty from that era, because most of them were amazing and had amazing multiplayer. We literally had World at War, Black Ops 1 and 2, Modern Warfare 1 and 2. It was peak Call of Duty. What made Black Ops 1 stand out for me was the absolutely stellar campaign, and how they took the idea of zombies from World at War, who mind you, did it amazing, and completely ramped it up into what would become my favorite Call of Duty pastime with all of my friends as a teenager. Ah, those summer nights of Call of Duty, staying up until 5 in the morning and sleeping until noon. If I tried that now as a 27-year-old, I don't know if I would make it through the day. And coming in at number 19, we have Oblivion. Oblivion was the standard for RPGs. You've heard I was ass backwards with some of the other games previously on this list. It doesn't stop there. I actually played Skyrim before I ever touched Oblivion. Crazy, right? While Oblivion is an absolute banger of a game, it could never compete with Skyrim in my eyes, which may be a precursor to one of the games coming up on the list. And that's the only reason it landed at that number 19 spot, or else it would be a lot higher. It also is worth shouting out that while I've played and beat it like 3 times and spent hundreds of hours on its original build, I am also highly enjoying the remaster and recommend everybody to get it, even if you've played Oblivion before. And at number 18, probably the oldest game on this list, we have Zelda: A Link to the Past. A Link to the Past was probably the first RPG I ever got my hands on when I was very young, playing on my uncle's Super Nintendo in the late 90s, early 2000s. And what a game to introduce you to this genre. There is so much to do and so much to explore, and the fact that it's all on a SNES cartridge is insane. With great gameplay and a great story, I still fire it up time to time on my SNES app on the Switch. With number 17, we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag. While I have played every mainline Assassin's Creed, the first 2 were absolutely amazing. The third was pretty good, but this one just rubbed me in all the right places. All the right places. Whether it was sailing the seas on my upgraded Jackdaw, taking on the legendary ships, swinging to the opposite deck, pistol in my hand and smoking the captain, or running across rooftops in one of the major cities stalking my target, I had so much fun with this game. The story was an absolute banger, and bro, it's pirates. Who doesn't love pirates?
And he's even lovelier in real life.
In real life, you're different than you were in the tapestry.
Well, bring it.
At number 16, we have The Witcher 3. This game did everything right. The combat, the skill trees, the amazing story, the immersive and alive world and NPCs, the scenery, they were all fantastic. I love my games to be long because I tend to get addicted with any game I'm currently playing in the moment. But the reason The Witcher 3 is not higher on this list is because it may be too long. And I'm not sure I've ever said that about another game. It also makes giving it a replay a little less encouraging. Not that that stopped me from playing through this game a few times, but overall, just an absolutely masterpiece class of a game.
Ritual cleansing, Shujenko. Though the taint of evil continues its hold on you, my training has given you the ability to control it.
I am grateful for what you have done for me, Nightwolf.
I wish you luck on your journeys.
And at number 15, I slotted Mortal Kombat Deception. You may be asking yourself, what even is that game? Don't worry, you're not alone. It's crazy the amount of people I try to talk to about my favorite Mortal Kombat and have absolutely no idea about this absolute hidden gem. Not only was the story absolutely amazing through the Conquest mode, which was basically like Mortal Kombat's first RPG, but the actual combat and gameplay was stellar, continuing the two-fight stance and the weapon style of combat, as seen in the previous Mortal Kombat, Deadly Alliance, I think? Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance? But anyways, many a times as a kid did I make my dad rage quit after spamming him with Liu Kang's bicycle kick. But don't worry, I'm not a move spammer anymore. Don't hate me.
Where are you?
Close to the studio, I think. You find anything useful?
Right up the elevator. Should be easier to get out of here.
And at 14, we have Cyberpunk 2077. The graphics in the world you play in are absolutely beautiful, and the story is masterfully crafted, dark and gritty, and almost makes you question if our technology could actually reach that point. A concept I find really fascinating. Between the gunplay and the things you can do with the implants you can buy in game, it makes the gameplay extremely unique, and what can I say? Keanu Reeves plays Johnny Silverhand, a main character. Devs, if there's anyone listening, I doubt there is, but if you ever doubt your game, just put Keanu in it. It'll sell like gangbusters. Man, I love Keanu Reeves. Dude is such a wholesome human being.
Who steals a goddamn boy? I'm gonna let fly at those sons of bitches. Don, I need you to stay calm.
And at number 13, we have Red Dead Redemption 2. I will say one thing about Red Dead 2. If you haven't played it, play it. I could say nothing bad about that game other than, well, you know what. Or you should know what. This game is so good, I won't even spoil it here. Please, do yourself a favor if you haven't played this. Go and buy it right now. I'm serious. Close this video, hop on Steam or the PS Store or your Xbox Store, enter your credit card, and enjoy hundreds of hours of amazing story and exploring the old American West. Sliding in at number 12, we have Stardew Valley. I'm a sucker for sim games, but Stardew is just the literal next level of sim games. The fact that the creator, Concerned Ape, created it all by himself is absolutely mind-blowing. You can plant and cultivate crops, customize your farm in your home, upgrade all your tools, explore multiple giant mines full of monsters, find loot, build friendships and relationships with the NPCs, go on magic mushroom trips with a wizard who lives in a not at all suspicious wizard tower. I could go on all day. I love Stardew, and its multiplayer. So many hours spent in this game with either my wife or my friends, and that's why I slotted it at number 12. Number 11, you had to know it was on here. Pokemon Fire Red. Having played OG Red, Fire Red was literally everything you could ever want if you loved the original. Revamped graphics, additional content. At the time, I couldn't believe how realistic the sprites of your Pokemon looked, which today is almost laughable compared to current gen games, even though, not a shot or anything, Pokemon, but your 30-year-old game runs smoother than any of your last three. Maybe something to think about? I don't know. But what an amazing experience Fire Red was. Comment your first Elite Four team. I tried to make it different every playthrough, but I could always guarantee I would have a Rhydon, a Pidgeot, and a Charizard in my stack. To kick us off with the top 10, if you don't know that iconic music, we have Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. San Andreas is carried hard by the nostalgia, but it was such a blast every time I would play. Sure, I like GTA 5, and GTA 4 is absolutely amazing too, but that nostalgia factor, man. It was also the first GTA that I found out by accident you could find multiplayer icons around the map, and have a buddy or your sibling play with you. Many times did my brother and I absolutely terrorize San Andreas in a flying car, throwing unlimited grenades or shooting an infinite ammo rocket launcher from the passenger window onto the unsuspecting citizens walking around San Andreas. You could work out, eat at a restaurant, pimp your cars, and wow, did this GTA have a great soundtrack. This game had 3 major cities, and I made sure to raise hell in all 3 of them. Also, I know Rockstar will never hear this, but on the off chance anyone who made San Andreas ever hears this, why, bro? Why on earth did you make the option to kiss the second player in multiplayer? And it's L2, a main button. If you were anywhere near your second player, you just stop what you were doing and start kissing in the middle of a fire-filled street with cops shooting at you, making out with a Tech 9 in one hand and a big veiny silicone purple monster in the other. What a crazy fun game.
Harmless, huh?
He's the real Axon.
In number 9, we have Claire Obscure Expedition 33. This is by a long shot the newest game in terms of release date on my list, but having recently completing it and currently playing through my New Game Plus, I could not help but put it in my top 10. While I have always loved turn-based RPGs, let's not lie, sometimes they can get a little boring when you play for a while. This game completely changes that, allowing you to parry or dodge during the enemy attack, which is not always easy, but it keeps you on your toes and doesn't let you get bored. The gorgeous graphics and gameplay accompanied with one of the most compelling and twisty storylines of any game I've ever played, it is every bit deserving of its number 9 spot. Go play it, guys. It's an amazing game. And at number 8, I went with Final Fantasy X. I literally cannot pick if I wanted 7, 8, 9, or 10. So I just went with 10 for the impact it had once it dropped as the first Final Fantasy on the new PS2. Those 4 Final Fantasies are absolutely fantastic games with amazing stories and even better map. Final Fantasy X specifically, being the first Final Fantasy on the new PS2 hardware, had breathtaking graphics and cinematics for the time, and the story with Sin may be my favorite in all of the Final Fantasy series. And for anyone who's played this game, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking about the laugh, aren't you? Don't worry, I'm right there in that same boat with you. But after mentally erasing that blemish from Final Fantasy X, there is still a game to be enjoyed here. And at number 7, we have Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64. Speaking of turn-based RPGs, this is the first one of those I've ever played. With the unique concept that the entire world is made out of paper, this is another game I would get myself lost in as a kid. With so many places to go, items to collect and upgrade, companions to recruit to use their abilities, and of course Goombas to stomp out, this easily slotted itself at number 7. I still do a playthrough of this once a year on my Switch.
I am Melania, Blade of Mikola.
At number 6 we have, and it was hard for me to drop this out of my top 5 because of how perfect this game is, but number 6 is Elden Ring. I had never played a Souls game before Elden Ring. I don't know what I was expecting, but I was not expecting to get a people's elbow dropped on my forehead over and over again. And again, and another time, and yet again. Despite getting absolutely shit on for countless hours, there's something about the challenge of a Souls game that just keeps you coming back for another ass whooping, basically. The world and gameplay is stunning, and if you're asking, I did manage to pull my head out of my ass eventually, and at least present a challenge for these absolute monstrosities that haunt the land between. I finally managed to get to New Game 9, and yes, I have beat Melania, and pre-nerf Radon, and consort Radon, so I guess I got good like the Souls players spam on every online Souls discussion you can find. At number 5, we have the legendary Minecraft. What can I say? You know it. You more than likely love it. What's not to love? I have bought Minecraft on nearly every system I've ever owned and still always find myself saying, a new survival world sounds kind of fun right now. It belongs nowhere other than my top 5. If not for the thousands of hours I probably have in it, then for it being the ultimate sandbox where the sky is literally the limit.
What? I mean, yeah, it used to be, sure. But not no more. Powder Gang is small time, man. I'm a winner! I won the motherfucking lottery!
At number 4, I had to go with Fallout New Vegas. I've played every Fallout with the exception of 1, and I absolutely adore this series. The only reason 3 isn't on my list is because I tried to stay away from duplicates and instead decided to pick my favorite of the series. For example, earlier when I picked Black Ops 1, or Red Dead 2, or Final Fantasy X. Because I could make a case for every single one of the Fallouts I've played, as well as the other games in the other series I just mentioned. New Vegas just had a feel that instantly captivated me, and in my opinion is the ultimate Fallout experience. Also, fuck Vault-Tec. And now we are into the top 3, and to kick us off at number 3, Halo 2. I love the original Halo trilogy. The only reason I went with 2 is because I probably have the most time in it compared to 1 or 3, which I also had an insane amount of time in. Halo in its prime was untouchable, and I'm not sure if I've ever had as much fun with any game as I did with Halo in its prime. The multiplayer and campaigns were so good, and come on bro, it's Master Chief.
I'm not going alone. I've got some of the best working with me. If we stick together, we'll make it.
I know we brought you back for a reason. I've never seen a better leader. Despite the danger, it's a great opportunity.
And at number 2, we have Mass Effect 2. What a masterpiece of a game. The world building, the NPC relationships, the gunplay, the story, fuck the story. That story is probably the best story of any video game that has ever existed. I will glaze Mass Effect 2 to the end of time, and while I always encourage opinions and respect them, I will happily die on a hill defending it from anyone who doesn't like this game. If you don't like this game, then you don't like me. Commander Shepard could kick me in my nuts, and I would look him or her in their eyes and say, thank you, can I have another? If you haven't played this game, and you had a chance to, I question if you actually love video games. And while I love Mass Effect 1 and like Mass Effect 3 as well, just something about 2 just puts it over the top.
Hey, you. Finally awake. You were trying to cross the border, right? Walked right into that Imperial ambush, same as us. And that thief over there.
Damn you Stormcloaks. Skyrim was fine until you came along.
And finally, what will take the number 1 spot? If you haven't guessed already, it's none other than the mythical, the re-released 18 times because people won't stop buying it, the buggy, the hilarious, the most time-consuming game that has ever graced my life. It is none other than Bethesda's cream of the crop, their magnum opus, Skyrim. If you thought my Mass Effect 2 glaze was cringe, you may want to end the video now. I'll still love you, But when I tell someone I love Skyrim, I mean I truly love and appreciate how amazing that game is. Yes, it has its typical Bethesda, quote, charm, unquote, but man, this is easily the game I have spent the most hours in. As a teenager, when this game came out, I was mesmerized and got lost in the lore, the amazing world that felt so alive. I racked up over 4,000 hours on my old Xbox alone. Hell, I used to let it play in the background, turn my TV brightness down, and go to sleep to the beautiful soundtrack. And I have repurchased almost every other edition that has came out on multiple platforms. Yes, I am Sweaty Boy, part of the problem Brad, but I apologize to no one. If they release it again with better graphics and more content, I will continue to buy it, even though I tell myself every time I don't need it. It's just the Skyrim effect. This game will forever hold a special place in my heart, and I think it could only be dethroned by Elder Scrolls 6. That is if it holds up to its hype, which man do I have my fingers crossed for. And that, folks, is my top 25 favorite games ever list. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching. I appreciate you guys more than you could ever know. Until next time, boys, I'll see you later.
Feel like 550 on the 5 sticky, come get high with me, that's a deal, right? Ride with me if you ride with me, you can slide with me if you feel like